Hey guys, how you doing? My name is John. Welcome to my NEStalgiaholic show. And in this episode, I'll be reviewing and going through the original Nintendo Power. This is volume 27. Came out in August of 1991. Great time, a great year for Nintendo. Definitely. I mean, this is when NES was still in full swing. The Game Boy was there, and the Super Nintendo was just hitting the market during this time. So, looks like in this issue, this volume, they're going to talk about Dr. Willy's Revenge, Mega Man for Game Boy. And then series updates, of course, Super Nintendo previews, which is always pretty exciting. I remember reading this when I was young. I was 10 years old when this game came out, or this magazine came out, and just learning more about the Super Nintendo was super stoked. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look at inside this magazine. So here's a closer look at volume 27. It's got this really cool art design with Dr. Willy, and I don't know, it's like a toy or something. It's kind of weird. Got the official Nintendo seal of quality in the corner, bottom right. The source for news and strategy straight from the pros. In the bottom, retailed for US $350 and Canadian dollars is $450 back in 1991. On the back, keep up the gear, keep up the game with high gear. So you can basically call this number and they'll help you repair stuff, which is kind of neat. Middle class service. Open this up. Unmask the power animal in you. Flip down for mask. This is basically, I guess, advertising so you can subscribe to Nintendo Power. Looks like for 1 year set, it was $24. Plus you get the strategy guide and all that cool stuff too. The Power line, you got the table of contents, Ninja Gaiden 3, Dragon's Warrior 2 and 3, Darkman, those are the Nintendo games. Super Mario World, Gradius 3, whatever how you ever want to pronounce that. ActRaiser, which is classic. Tips from the pros, Nestor's Adventures, now playing, Pack Watch, Dr. Willy's Revenge, this is the Game Boy in purple. Dr. Willy's Revenge, Final Fantasy Legend 2, Days of Thunder, Power Forums, or Players Forums, Info Zone. Players Polls, this is basically where people can write in to Nintendo and submit pictures and all that good stuff. This kid unboxing a Nintendo action set. He's really excited. Ninja Gaiden 3 for the Nintendo Classic. Now this is a time when they actually step you through the game rather than reviewing the game. Although I think at this point Nintendo was starting to do some reviews, seeing how good or bad the games were. But this is just a strategy guide essentially, and it steps you through different acts of the game. Act 4, and it gives you the map, which is really neat, really cool. Act 5, Act 6, Act 7. And it's pretty cool. Okay, and then here's Nestor's Adventure. No painting. So there's a comic strip at this point. Nintendo was still doing these comic strips with Nestor. I mentioned before, but Nestor's only game that Nestor was in was Nestor's Funky Bowling for the game Virtual Boy. But you never really cut on to any other Nintendo products. Okay, and here is classified information. These are just top secrets, straight from the pros. You got power-up sub. These are different secret codes you can put in games like Toad code. So you'll need a match-up health fight. So on the tile screen, press and hold down A and B buttons, and down on the control pad, then press the start button. You'll begin with 5 Toads. You definitely need that. 2 more extra lives because that's a freaking really, really hard game. Vice, The Simpsons, Unlimited Barts. That's a really fun game. It's the Space Mutants, I'm assuming. Dragon Warrior 3. Down here it tells you the graphics. So it does give it a grade 3.4 graphics out of 5. 3.8 play control, challenge, interest 3.8, theme and fun 3.6. Goes brief history about the Dragon Warrior series, later known as Dragon Quest. Dragon Warrior 2. Really fun RPGs. Gives you tips, maps, the world. NES Achievers, people can submit high scores. Games like Deja Vu, Digger T Rock, I never heard of that because there's only one guy who submitted the score for that one. G.I. Joe, Narc, based on the arcade. So difference between blue and this is the pink. It must be Game Boy. This must be what that's for. Counselor's Corner. So these are common questions people ask. So like, how do I defeat Dinosaur in level 4 in Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants? It's a really challenging game as well. They always have interesting hairstyles. Ultimate Quest, Avatar, Ultimate Quest for Avatar, Battletoads, how do I get past the snakes? Darkman, can't say I've ever played this game. It's by Ocean. It's like a platforming game. Different characters, every level, different stages. Funhouse, Chinatown, it's actually a pretty fun game. There's a poster, just like Playboy, they have different posters here. Coming soon to your JVC, Star Wars. From JVC, it's for the NES. That's a cool Star Wars poster. Awesome. Very old school looking poster there. On the other side you have more strategies. Get into the Game Boy feature section here. Mega Man. See, some of these they don't even have titles covers for. Final Fantasy Legend 2, Days of Thunder, which is for the NES as well. Dr. Willy's Revenge. I actually really like the Mega Man Game Boy games. Pretty classic. Fireman, Iceman. Dr. Willy's Lab. I believe the GameCube and the set, they actually have all the Game Boy Mega Man games included in that. And all the NES games. Great compilation. This must be Final Fantasy Adventure 2. Yep. Definitely play a lot different than most Final Fantasy games, but I think it's a different series, and Squaresoft at the time branded it as Final Fantasy. Might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. Different stages, different worlds. Days of Thunder based on the movie with Tom Cruise. It's a racing game. More tips. These are tips for Game Boy Classified, so more secrets for that. Now playing. They give them the grades too. Coming soon, Castlevania 2. Game Boy Ultimate Design Contest. So you can basically design your own Game Boy design. Did you ever wish? Classic contest to sharpen your pencils. Okay, that's cool. That's a really neat, cool design. 3 grand prizes. 3 talent designs will have their classic concepts chosen by our panel. Convert into a custom Game Boy system for the winner. That's pretty cool. I wonder how much those are worth today. So you can actually design your own Game Boy here and submit it in. Very fun idea. Look how big those Game Boys look, but they're classic. Good old Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Mario World. Goes about the Mario series itself. What is your favorite Mario game, Super Mario game? I really like Super Mario Bros. 3 a lot. I love World though, it's fun. The different worlds, the sensitive controller, super sensitive controller, I like how they word that there. I was just blown away when the graphics came out for the Super Nintendo. Absolutely blown away. The boss battles and stuff like that. Gradius. Act Razor. Here's players poll contest. Grand prize Bone Ted's telephone booth. Based on the movie, that's so funny. What were you going to do with the telephone booth? You can get the videotapes. Just see how old this is. That's awesome. The jersey. I almost prefer the jersey. It's more practical today, right? That's awesome though. Now playing Super Jeopardy. Triumph, Captain Planet, based on the cartoon. He's our hero. Don't forget, Captain Planet's always our hero. Where's Waldo, based on the books. It's a terrible game. World of Nintendo Adventure Books. Electronic Crayons. More about this Print World for Apple, Commodore Apple. Game sounds. What does this thing do? You can plug this into your Nintendo. That's a really weird device. Don't know much about that. Guide to the latest releases. They also scored the games here. What do they give Where's Waldo? THQ. Where's Waldo? So that shows you how long THQ has been around. And not very good ratings, 1.8, not very good ratings. Top 30 games, Mario 3, the top spot. You got Turtles 2, the arcade game, I would agree. Mega Man 3, Final Fantasy number 4, Tetris, Crystalis number 7, Simpsons Bart vs. Space Mutants is number 8, Star Tropics number 9, Dr. Mario number 10. I'd probably agree with all those classic ones. Bases Loaded 2 is number 28, Dick Tracy 26. That's a hard game. Legend of Zelda is 20, Turtles 1 is 19. DuckTales 29. It's got to be way higher than that. Disappointing. Macaulay Culkin celebrity profile. So they interview Macaulay Culkin, and they always talk. They have a celebrity profile. They ask him what the games they're playing. He's in Home Alone. Look into the future of games. Bioforce Ape, Nightshade, Kickmaster, Consumer Electronics Show (CES) still around today. Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Nintendo, Game Boy. Barbie herself was there, promoting the NES one. NES Sports Set, the displays they have there. Future games. That'd be cool to go back there and take a time machine, check it out. Development Zelda 3. Still no name at that point. Later known as Link to the Past. Castlevania 4. Super Girls and Ghost. The Empire Strikes Back for the Nintendo. Overlord. Die Hard, Barbie. Coming soon, Nintendo Planner, Smash TV, Star Trek, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. Where's Waldo? Super Nintendo Planner, the F-Zero, Final Fight, Joe Madden Football, Sim City, Super Bases Loaded, Super Mario World, R-Type, Super R-Type, Super Play Action Football, UN Squadron. Later known as some classic ones. Bulletin board, some back issues you can order. And what is this thing? Nintendo World Class Service. This is where you can call if you live in these states. You can call this for your local number to call. More information. Coming next issue, in issue volume 28, is going to be Nintendo's Super Nintendo game features, Star Wars, Smash TV, Final Fantasy Adventures. Now, this is a letter from one of the agents who works for Nintendo as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you soon. Take care.